people, welcome back to the channel. This is JC, Boxing Day 2022, so I'm going to get you some nice footage of the town centre. We're still in Ratkave or Rakave, and yeah, still in the Christmas mood. We're going to get this lovely church here, Lutheran I believe, so still post Christmas, you know, post orgasmic stupor of Christmas Day, and all that lot is now behind us, and we can just be mellow and yet still be festive. So what we have here is some of the Christmas decorations still. This, I'm not quite sure what this is. Oh yeah, it's the Roman Catholic Church of Ratkave. So quite opulent within, usual gold, etc. Oh yeah, let's head, because this church is beckoning. I believe it's closed today, I understand. So let's just head over there. Again, we're on sort of public areas, nothing too dodgy, nice and pedestrianised down here. So just see what's on offer here. It's still extremely Christmassy. And look, proper brick-built modern church with a lovely little Danube alongside it. So good solid church. A couple of sarcophagi there, or one sarcophagi. Gus. Yeah, that's a bit old, that. So let's see what else we've got here. See, in homage to Hungary's history. And here we have the actual building itself. I believe this is closed. Let's have a quick look. I've been informed it's closed. Yeah, God's door is closed today. Open on most days, I'm sure. And you can always pray to God. It's always there for you. Doesn't involve the church, does it? You can just start praying wherever you are. Of course, all your prayers are heard by God, but not all of them will be carried out. I believe that's true. To say that, I think most people would agree. I think locked, I assume. Oh, yeah, good, locked. So they're keeping God's house nice and secure. Let's see what else have we got here. So unusual features, 400 watt, so probably a step down there, isn't it? No, it's not a step down at all. Drainage system looks good. Probably closed, although we will try it. Yeah, also locked. Good. Right, it's a reform, so as far as I said, it's part of the Lutheran movement. Neo-Gothic building, blah 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 blah. Okay, maybe put something about either the Reformed Church or the Lutheran Church on screen for you if it's relevant. I think it could be relevant. Advertising there. Nice conifer. Don't really know. Oh, this is very historic. This one. See if I can get a zoom in on this. Not zoom, sorry, it's too cold for zoom. See Zoltan maybe? Anything else? Can't really make out much more. Can't see which language it's in, whether it's Latin or Hungarian. Wonder if it's the site of an old church. You know, that could always be a possibility. Yeah, let's go down here, because basically we ended off one of our videos coming down onto the excuse me, it's the cold air that really gets me. One of our videos ended with coming down onto this promenade along the Little Danube. So the Little Danube is regulated in terms of level-wise by huge dams, I believe to the south, although I'm not entirely sure. So we've got that globe. If you look at that golden spire, it doesn't look too gold to me. Obviously less opulent than some of the other things we've seen in this city, town rather. Kind of like a morning star type, I was going to say cross, it's not a cross, is it? The top of the spire where the lightning conductor will really kind of be, and then you've got this pot looking, almost like earthenware looking structure, and then the sort of like Gothic like spire. Don't know if we'd call that neo-Gothic or not, but the rest of it is pure modern. It could even be a Seventh-day Adventist affair, but it is really looks, bricks and mortar, nice and solid, nice and modern. Who knows how long it will last. But God's church, you'd hope would be there forever, as long as there are humans. Although the venues might change, more and more churches are getting sold off to be with estate agents, lawyers, pubs, housing, and you're going to see that more and more now. It's just a trend that's happening. Lots of churches are going into disrepute. Sorry, I'll take that back. Disrepair. Because of the declining congregation. I mean, people are either moving away from Christianity or finding other ways to worship, either whether it be online or whatever. Obviously, you've got the odd switches to different religions. Islam is growing, so possible switches to Islam, but also I believe I'm correct in saying that Christianity is declining in number of worshippers, and then Islam is on the rise in terms of brute force numbers. Again, I stand to be corrected. If anyone wants to come up with facts and figures, I'm all ears to you. So this is the old mill. So basically, there used to be a mill. Obviously, mills, they mill down wheat into flour, and this was an old mill. When I say it was an old mill, it's actually a facsimile of a mill that was in this location, funded by the community and probably local government. Been inside once, and basically you can actually see the different types of grains. We will be going up there, and we'll be crossing the bridge to the other side, which I understand is still Radskave. So let's just take a few pictures of the shots of this. How interesting is this 1913? So Treaty of Trianon, where would have happened, I believe, shortly after this, where Greater Hungary was divided up into different countries, and it almost like returned partly to other areas, in part. But also, let's not forget that in fact after the Treaty of Trianon, a lot of Hungarians were living then suddenly not in Hungary anymore, but in a different country, and you can imagine feeling alienated. I mean, as a comparison, I will say that people in I don't know, Salford, who were, say, part of a different county, suddenly become Greater Manchester during the process of what we call gentrification, where, generally speaking, posher or more services-led people move in, and the poorer get forced out, which is not only happening in London, but also in big conurbations like such as Manchester. And of course, it's a natural movement. It's a well-known but perhaps controversial topic. But it goes on, you see council housing stock being but since the 80s, moving into the private landlord system. And it was designed for people to get kind of a house, like home over their heads. And and obviously Thatcher came in and nuked them and essentially moved them into the private domain. So of course I'm not saying Thatcher is bad. I wouldn't go as far as saying that. Of course, if you live in Liverpool, you might have other kinds of views on Thatcher, generally speaking. And living up in the north of England, there's a lot of that kind of sentiment. Of course, not all the north is. Leaning to the right. Sorry, leaning to the left rather. They're more this colour here. Obviously I don't know anything about politics. Just a rudimentary understanding of it. So if you want something more learned, I suggest you get Googling. Right, and even things like this. This is, in fact, the Greater Hungary, and you can see in the middle what the Hungary is of today. So you can see there's quite a loss of a land mass after the Treaty of Trianon, which I believe this is kind of commemorating or commiserating, and it's even got the Trianoni Bekedik Tamuk Tatkumuk. Let me try it, but obviously a lot of Hungarians are, I'm not saying all of them, there's a bit of sense of loss in the culture. We had something and it's now lost. So you'd see that, and if you get to know any Hungarian, there's that kind of sense of loss for the most part, and I suppose maybe it's more so. I think it's cross-generational. I might be wrong. Right, so what have we got here? We have got steps out of the market area. So this every Thursday and Sunday, all this area is a market. Thursday market's a lot smaller. Sunday market's quite busy. Palinka realm, obviously anyone who knows a Hungarian, they would have been force-fed palinka and nuked out, because that stuff is strong. It's not on the absinthe level, but I was certainly choking on it not so long ago. Okay, 1956, so I think there was a revolution here around that time. Obviously the Russians had their foothold in Hungary, and there was lots of uprisings with the population, a lot of youth uprising, and if you like, suppression, and refugees coming out of the country, some of them coming to London. And I think my father certainly noted around that time there was a few faces on the London Underground that looked very kind of glum, young faces that had a lot to say. Of course, some of them were refugees from Hungary. Essentially, they could have been, leaders of movements, political movements that were brutally suppressed, and they thought, sod this, I'm out of here. Much as I love the country, I'm out, let's start a new life, let's go to England. So 1956, and those Hungarians and their sons and sons and daughters, playing vital parts to the British economy, but also British lifestyle. And, you get chatting to some of these people, and they are part of the diverse fabric of the UK. The Hungarians, wonderful. Out of something painful comes something positive sometimes. So unfortunately we don't have Jimmy with us. Would have loved to hoon Jimmy. Around this area. These birds and not directly, just sort of gone up and down the little Danube with our little drone, but regulations, Wizz Air and whatnot, and the way that the legislation works around here, I couldn't bring Jimmy with me, unfortunately. So my videos are going to be kind of wordy and long. The last few that I'm going to make in Hungary. So ice skating is known, I think, in some parts of the year people would go ice skating on this. Again, I might be wrong. Swimming happens, believe it or not, in the summer. People jump in. I don't know if they jump in quite at this location, but they certainly do jump in the summer months. So here we have the bridge of, I'd love to tell you what construction of type of bridge this is, but unfortunately I don't know. But as you can see, it looks solid. Don't know how old this is. I'm guessing it's about 100 years old, but let's see if I can find any information on the bridge. No, I think this is poetry. I'll just cross over to the other side there quickly. Any information on this bridge? No, again, kind of more poetry. There's some fishermen down there. You want to put Kivanok? Follow Korchoint. Yeah, happy Christmas, I basically said to them. So yeah, so bulldog Korchoint is what I said. Bulldog is not bulldog, it means happy. Is their word for Christmas. Yeah. So Hungary, yeah, so there's a few Hungarians around that time made it into our armed forces, RAF, probably army and stuff. I think I know of friend went into the RAF around that time. Family friend, I should say. And we all took a part to play in the fight against Nazis in the UK around that time. So a huge war effort. We had the Land Army. Women making munitions and factories supporting the men that were going out fighting. There weren't female soldiers at the time like there are now. I believe, however, you know, France, women played a huge part in the resistance. So no one's really taken much note of us filming here. You see the cold beauty of this place, the rawness of nature, and Ratskava is actually called the water town. And you see there the spires of the Catholic Church and the Reformed Church. Just the spire just in the centre between the bridge and the other spire is the town hall, and the one to our left is the one we filmed earlier, which is the Serbian church. So let's see what else there is to see in Ratskava. I'm told that the Christmas lights are quite impressive here, but I certainly won't be hanging around at night or towards the evening as temperatures plummet even more. I definitely won't be around, so somebody that can take the cold a bit better than me will be out there. Doing their bit for photography in public. Builders obviously still building. I saw a roofer working out yesterday in Ratskava, which was pretty cool. Yes, man. Pumping the music there. So just trying to avoid these cars around here. Actually, if they're on the road, it's probably quite good. I mean, it's okay to film them, but if they're like, do you know what I mean? If they're like parked, I don't want to be filming people's cars if they're parked, you know. You know, they might be going to visit a lover, you know, it could cause all kinds of problems and fraud and into that, especially at Christmas. So this is still Ratskava, guys. So we cross the bridge. Bridge in Hungarian is HID, H-I-D. UT means, I guess, street or road, I'm guessing. What we're doing here, building, yes, that's what we like to see, building. It's like quite beautiful, modern. Housing development here, so it's like zero carbon, very environmentally conscious, what we like to see, and it's going to be more and more to the fore. Peak Boomer. Okay, so I don't know who owns this land here, but it's probably the developer has now bought this up, ready to develop. Yeah, so when's this coming? What year is this coming? Does it say? Kishtuna, small donau, small Danube. Savoy apartment has Ish Yacht Club, so they've got they're calling it the Savoy Apartments and Yacht Club. Fellas, this is going to be amazing. Very opulent. So let's hope they refurb the Savoy Hotel as well. Can all spare some money and out of his own pocket and just would he make an exception to, you know, his claimed policy of wanting to refurbish all the castles in Hungary? Will he make an exception to that and just reach into his pocket and put some money into this place here, into the Hotel Savoy? Would he do that? Would he do that for me? Would Viktor Orban? Or was he too busy with his just cause of looking after the influx of Ukrainians into Hungary, which is fully endorsed, fully supported by Viktor Orban? I'd say he's too busy. He's just too busy to make an exception. Too busy. And if you look at him, if you look at any of Viktor Orban's speeches, as I have done, you'll see that he's a very serious politician. He's the sort of guy that you can imagine cracking up in laughter with a pint in his hand. But whenever I see him on TV, which isn't that often, to be fair, but you get the impression that he's serious. So Viktor Orban's sort of policy has been quite exclusive, you know, anti sort of foreign, independent, sort of Brexit-minded, Trump-minded, you know, sort of like Republican, and you know, wouldn't say anti-foreigner, but he's really sort of like, you could argue strong, you know. Again, you can probably tell I'm no expert on politics, but Orban, there's a lot in common between the Brexit movement, Orban's politics, and Trump. And what I hear is that Trump's on the blower to him every month, probably bemoaning this and that. But lads, I think I'm going to wrap this one up now. So from me and Turkovic beton ter Mekkik, with some sort of building, and Auto Moshel, if you need your car washed, definitely go here, lads. It seems like quite a good one. I hope the owner's not washing that himself, because he must be absolutely frozen. So yes to Hungary, yes to Budapest, yes to Orban, and a big yes to pizza and gyros. Baltic no more. Lads, hope you've had a good one, and I will see you in the next one. This is Jason minus Shumi, over and out.